Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ariz Asad and I am a final year student of electronic engineering at Kennedy University of Engineering and Technology. Today I am going to conduct an interview as a part of my present semester project along with two of my colleagues, Warda Arshad and Anas Ali.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Kennedy is a public university that was established in March 1977 under an act of Provincial Assembly of Sindh after the upgrading of former Kennedy Government Engineering College that was set up in 1921. Thus, it is one of the oldest and renowned institutions in Pakistan for teaching and producing engineering graduates. So, we have Dr. Saad Ahmed Qazi, the Dean of Faculty of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and a meritorious professor of electrical engineering at Kennedy University. Along with that, he is also the PI at Neurocomputation Lab, National Center of Artificial Intelligence. He'll be sharing his views about the culture and environment of local organizations in Pakistan and what are the key factors behind the success and failure of any organization.
So, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us today. How are you?
Walaikum salam, Arish. I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me into this interview.
You're welcome.
So
Okay,
let's
so
go ahead.
Tell us about yourself.
Okay. My name is Saad Ahmed Qazi. I am a graduate of this university. I graduated in 2001 from electrical engineering. My area is signal processing and technology application. I joined this university as a lecturer in 2002 after doing my master's from Lancaster University, and sooner I went to UK back again for my PhD, and I came back in 2006 and I have been working since then at this university. I've been involved in several administrative positions, a lot of research and teaching, and although I have worked as an administrator, as a researcher, as a teacher, but the most I enjoy working is with the students. So the best of my time is when I'm in the class and I'm engaged with the students. And currently I'm working as the dean of the Faculty of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and I'm also currently working as a meritorious professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering. And you all know that I'm currently also engaged in the National Center for AI these days.
Yes. Okay, so how will you define success? How will you be defining success?
Success is a abstract varies from person to person or organization to organization. I see this as an indicator of acquiring or reaching your destination. So, for example, if somebody decides that he or she would strive to reach Hyderabad, then by whatsoever means the person reaches Hyderabad, then that's a success by achieving the destination or the aim. The same person can also aim to reach the moon, but then the effort required to reach the moon changes. And if he or she reaches the moon, then that is the success. In life, when you this was a simpler explanation. If you go philosophical, then I personally consider the effort towards acquiring your objectives also as a success, because whether you reach a destination or not is part of the fate. Whatever your fate is, it's written, you cannot change it, it's not in your hands, but to make an effort is in your hands. So if we are making true and honest effort, then to me it is success.
Okay, so what part of your job do you find the most challenging? What you do as a dean, what is the most challenging part you face?
Being a dean is a very interesting business, because the good thing in academic is that you tend to choose what you enjoy as your work package.
Okay.
So it's just very different from other jobs where you are given a particular job description, and then you work accordingly. So the job description which I have is just 10 to 15% is what is written, and I have to abide by the NAD code, but
Mm.
the rest 85% is what I enjoy doing myself. So technology applications, as I said earlier, is where I
Mm.
enjoy working most. So energy is one area, health application is another area. Then these days I'm working with embedded systems, appliances, people's behavior as well. Recently, we concluded a project where we uh, worked to change people's behavior by using different smart apps. We worked in a region of Mityari with Aga Khan University where people were reluctant in getting vaccinations, but through
Oh,
a technology input, um we worked to change that mindset, and the barriers towards vaccination came down, and it relates well with the COVID situation as well. Um, you asked me what I find challenging. One of the things which is pretty challenging in today's society um, is adult education. We tend to have very hard opinions about things, and today to change somebody's mindset or behavior is one of the most challenging business of the day, because all of us are in a very hyper mode most of the time. We do not have the capacity to listen to others, and that has restricted all of us as a good learners. So this is what I find most challenging.
okay. You have defined it well. Okay. So, what organizational behavior do you think makes the organization lead in the market?
Right. So I hope you people have covered some of the organizational behaviors. This term
Yes,
is
we,
very old.
yeah.
This comes back from industrial revolution, start of 1800s. So
Mm.
the most common was the autocratic. Have you heard this term? Autocratic
Or
organizational behavior.
no, no.
Um, okay.
No, I
Have you
haven't.
heard about the supportive model,
Supportive
or the
model.
collegial model,
No, we
uh,
haven't
or the
that deep.
or the systems model? So there are five organizational models, right? So autocratic is the worst, okay, which was the most common in 1800s.
Yeah.
Autocratic is that there is one person who runs the business, and
Mm.
he or she treats all his employees, his or her employees, as their slaves, right? So whatever he or she says as a leader, they have to do, with no benefits or the welfare aspects covered, uh, and with no say or ownership in the organization. So the employees um, tend to um, what do you say, dissolve their inspiration and will over time. And but this was the most common type of organizational behavior in early 1800s and 1900s.
That boss and lead.
Unfortunately, this is what is found in developing countries, where most of the working class is less on literacy. They are illiterate. Then
Hmm.
the most common form of organization behavior is uh, autocratic model. But then the systems slightly changed, and people start talking about having supportive model. The supportive model is where the leadership role is slightly more diversified, and the employee benefits are provided such as pensions, leaves, some right to complain, etc.
Mm,
But in modern world, this has changed as well. So currently, good organizations follow systems model. The systems model is that the organization is considered as a system where some of the inputs are provided. The system,
mm,
the organization works and then produces some outputs. And
oh,
the employees, uh, including the management and the ownership, they are all considered as the processes, type of processes. So it's not only about money, it's about their feelings, it's about their emotions, and it's about their families. And it's this system model does two things. One, it allows the employees to have a feel of ownership, right? And the second thing is that it allows the organization to change easily if the change is. For example, I give you an example of NED University. NED University, you said, is established in March 1977. It's partially true. Um, it was actually originated in 1921 as a Prince of Wales Engineering College,
yes.
um, when the Sucker Barrage was to be formed, was to be built. Um, and this year, 2021, is basically the 100th year, is the centennial year, and we will be
Okay.
celebrating 100th anniversary of this university. So um, this university started as a supportive model, where the employee had to work as a teacher or as a staff, and they had some fringe benefits attached like leaves and pensions, etc. But
Mm,
there was no real sense of ownership. uh, I'm talking about in 60s and 70s. But in 1995, the university started to develop its systems and uh, employed the systems model so that all of its 2,000 employees became the input functions. And gradually, from 1995 to 2005, university transformed from a supportive model to systems model. So you must have heard that NED University is an ISO certified university. What does it mean? It means that the students are its customers. The
mm,
um, the human resource which is there, be it the teachers or the department staff or the finance or the registrar or the examination or the admissions or the industrial
mm,
liaison or student affairs or the library.
mhm.
Everybody working in the university has a very specific role and ownership attached to the NED University vision and mission. The advantage we get is that every employee owns the university objective, be it a janitor assigned a corridor who would be cleaning it day in, day out. He or she recognizes that by doing the duty properly, he or she is actually creating an ecosystem which supports the university purpose and objective. And when you have this sense of ownership, it allows the organization to have many um, honest views, many
Mm,
careful eyes, very many careful souls. So it's not only the vice chancellor or pro vice chancellor or deans running around the university making things work. Every single soul on the campus
mm,
works to the betterment. So recently, if I give you an example from the recent past, is that there are about 200 universities in Pakistan, and when COVID came in,
yes.
then most of the universities struggled to alter their system of operation, and most of them shut them down, shut themselves down for 4 months or 6 months. Whether
Yes.
you like it or not, the NID University was the first of the universities to move to the online and hybrid mode, took a survey of all 7,000 students, asked them
Mm,
um, whether you have laptops, whether you have smartphones, you have tablets, what sort of internet access you have, whether you have access to power facilities, whether there is a 4 hour load shedding or an 8 hour load shedding. So there was a conduct of a feedback, and then the different sort of modes were proposed, and then one method was finalized. So I'm not talking about whether it was good or bad, but basically it was important because the life must go on. Very recently, the convocation took place, online convocation.
yes.
Many of the friends didn't like it. Why are we having an online convocation? But irrespective of whether the decision is good or bad, um, the the life and operation of the university carries on, and in the long term, it gives advantage to its customers, that is the students, because they have been graduated in several universities. They are pending examinations. So the and how does it happen? If only the vice chancellor or the pro vice chancellor or the deans or chairpersons uh, used to run the university, it would have been very difficult to convince 2,000 employees that this is the decision we have to take. So,
Mm,
in a nutshell, coming back and summarizing your question, is that there are 3 or 4 different models, but
mm,
if we go towards collegial model or the systems model, where
mm.
every employee has a share of ownership, has a feel of ownership in the
Okay.
organization, then this is the fastest path to success.
Okay. Okay. So, what are the drastic changes you have witnessed while working in NED throughout the
I've seen,
tenure?
yeah, I joined in 2002, and till today it's about 19 years. Um, uh, the organization size of NED University does not see any drastic changes. There is no revolution. It's always evolution. And the
Oh.
evolution which NED University went through is in its intellectual aspect. The the strength of the university is its students.
Mm,
Very rare are the institutions which get such a uh, quality student intake as NED University. So we are lucky in that. So, and what the strong student body does to its faculty is that it keeps them on the toes. And over the last 15 years, NED University has seen an evolution of wonderful faculty across the campus, which has
mm.
allowed innovation, which has allowed research and development, which has allowed social impact. Do you do you guys know what is the vision of the NED University? Vision statement?
Vision.
I'm throwing a question back to you people. Um, but can you recall what is the vision? Anybody
Uh,
search the Google?
yes.
It's to be to be a leader for Pakistan's social and economic transformation. See, there is no word of engineering in the vision, although we are engineering and technology university, but there is no mention of the word engineering. The reason is that whatever we do, it has to be for the economic and social benefit for the country. And
Okay.
this is what the impact of NED has been on the country, that in the if you look today, the top entrepreneurs in the Silicon Valley, more
Hmm.
than 25% of them are NED graduates. Raghib Hussain, Idris Kotari, Naveed Sherwani, Safan Shah Saab. There are numerous examples, and they used to sit in your places where you are sitting right now. Um, 10, 12, 15 years ago, they were their students. And today they are millionaires and billionaires based on the system they went through. They only spent 4 years in this university. It allowed them to learn how to live life, how to handle situations, and how to make the best of the skills they already had. The skills students already have. The university atmosphere in the ecosystem allows them to use them properly. This is the evolutionary change which I have seen over the last 15 to 19 years.
Okay, so will
Sir,
you
so what improvement do you think is necessary to move your organization?
Currently, we have to. It's a good question because COVID has become a big catalyst in driving our agendas, right? So previously we had our goals and missions at where the university will go. But currently the biggest challenge we see is that 5 to 10 years down the line, we see the learning paradigm changing very, very rapidly. A society like Pakistan, here the concept of online learning was 10 to 15 years down the road. But what COVID has done is that it has desensitized that stuff. Now, even students sitting in schools, studying in class 2, 3, 4, 5, they now know what the distance learning is. They now have the apparatus, they now have the infrastructure, and the social learning to go through the distance learning mode. So now, very rapidly, we will see that international organizations, international universities will come into Pakistan as well, offering various degree programs and capacity building programs. The biggest challenge for the universities like Kennedy University, NUS, GIK, is to upskill its faculty members as soon as possible to handle the online learning paradigms and go beyond borders. Stop thinking about the students being admitted from Karachi or Sindh. Expand beyond boundaries. The Kennedy University faculty should be reaching to Chicago, Washington, San Francisco, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, and this is the challenge which currently we are looking at, and we are targeting in the next 3 to 5 years. We should be expanding our operations beyond borders.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, what reason do you think that in Pakistan company become fail when they globally compete with the other countries? What is the reason behind this? Many companies become start and they fail quickly.
Well, several reasons. Some of the reasons are that um, we do not do hard work, or we set unrealistic roles, or uh, we try to do shortcuts. Remember, when you go global, then you have to magnify the efforts and the skills accordingly. And most of the time, when we go global, we go there without doing proper homework and without assembling the team and without upskilling ourselves. Although there are other aspects as well, such as the barriers from the government and the barriers in our society, but I think these are secondary reasons because there are examples from Pakistan who have been successful abroad as well. You create the right niche and you compete with the right people, and you have a right business model, then there is no harm, why one cannot be succeeded. And just like I mentioned in the last question, that this is the challenge we at the universities also face. We should not restrict ourselves that, okay, the Karachi students comes in and we teach them. We should go beyond borders. We should do our homework. We should upskill our teachers and then ensure that they are skilled enough to make an impact beyond Pakistan.
Okay, sir. Sir, what do you think that, in your opinion, if I ask you that, what government should take steps to make Pakistani company to compete with a global company? What should be the necessary steps?
The government's job is just to allow companies to work in the best of their potential, and uh, the government's business is to enable its population to be successful. Now, how can government do that? Is the basic thing today is to literate its population. The first and the foremost thing the government must do is to educate its people. A human resource Pakistan has got is has a lot of potential, but without education, the companies cannot hire the local human resource and make the best out of it. So government must focus on educating its population.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. So in Pakistan, there have been some military periods, there have been some political, democratic periods. So if I compare, okay, from the development aspect, Pakistan had the best development during the period of Ayub Khan, General Ayub Khan, 1960s. And from the foreign policy and foreign development aspect, we had the best period during Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who allowed Pakistan to partner with many countries, and it allowed Pakistan's stature to raise. Then we unfortunately we went into Afghan war, but that was not a very good period of time from 78 till 88, and then the end of Cold War. Um, then we had, from the business perspective, Punjab grew during the time of Nawaz Sharif, Muslim League Noon. That was good for businesses, but at the same time, the systems for handling money and then the systems of transparency and um, uh, audits, they fall down, um, which had its impacts. And from the systems, from the higher education perspective, we had the best time during General Pervez Musharraf, when Higher Education Commission was formed, and Dr. Ataur Rahman was made the federal minister, and it allowed Pakistan universities to start making impact on the world canvas. Um, so Pakistan has functioned in not a consistent manner at all. Um, Unlike developed nations where the policies remain consistent, the governments come and go, but the policies remain consistent and intact, which allows the countries to prosper and to grow. But Pakistan, there have been hiccups. So there have been small episodes of economic growth and burst, but it has never been consistent. So these times, we have hopes from CPAC, but if it is handled properly, then it can allow Pakistan to provide the stimulus which is needed for growth. The second thing which Pakistan has right now is the potential in the digital world, that through the IT sector and through capacity of using the capacity of the digital world, digital Pakistan, if its youth can uh, take the responsibility, then it can allow Pakistan an economic burst, um, which we have been hoping for since long time. But your
So,
question is, I have answered it in a very diplomatic way, because
yeah.
ideally we have not yet very seen a good burst of businesses and economic growth so far.
Okay. 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 So, do you recognize the Satya Culture Organization?
Sorry,
Satya. Do you recognize the Satya Culture Organization? Satya.
Satya? I have not heard of
Oh,
Satya culture. No.
oh, okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So, thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was a great pleasure.
Yeah,
We will
great
be
talking to you
some.
people.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great talking to you people.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Allah
you,
Hafiz.
sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Allah Hafiz.
Yeah.
Hafiz.